Hello and welcome to Detroit Druidry and Divination. Today we are going to be talking a little bit about the Druid Grove. This grove is a place that we built at our home and we use for our own sacred ceremonies, rituals, and work, as well as some weddings that we have conducted here. But we also use it for our Obod seed group, which is the Awynneth of Flame and Well. So this is a sacred home to many of us. I wanted to have a quick video kind of introducing the grove and what it looks like at the end of winter. We have a lot of new ideas and new concepts that we're going to be introducing this year into the grove, and I wanted to get a before video on how it looks so that we can see the improvement by the end of the summer. So let's get started. I'm going to try and walk carefully so that I'm not getting anyone sick. The first thing we have up here is one of our little fairy homes that we made last summer. We added the moss and stones. Clearly it needs a little more love this summer. We have another one we'll be adding on the other side, kind of as an entrance way hello. There's a matching door down here that needs to be cleaned up. And then we have stones from our miniature grove kind of kicked all over from the winter, so we'll have to remake that. Here's something else that's a favorite part of my entrance, the kissing booth for our animals who get lots of kisses. And then we also have all the hands of the members who live here. And this is one of my favorite aspects of our house. It's a really wonderful welcoming and kind of puts all the good energy that I would want and love from the people who live here. All right. So let's head on in. So here's how I'm greeted every day. This is Blue. He's our white lab. He's wonderful. So I did have all these field stones collected and brought last summer. This was one of the additions we had. We handpicked each one to butt up against the next one like a puzzle piece. So that was a fun project, and I love the way it looks still. There's also myrtle, fern, and some other flowers growing in the beds here. We added the new chain last year as well, last summer. And then we made a large bowl at the bottom with some of the stones from this area as well. And I am just still in love with this. I love that it lasted throughout the winter. Still looks great. It collects the water. Then the animals can drink out of it, and it drains perfectly. So this will probably be a video in the future on how to make these and how to add fun and different items into those bowls. So let's just pan around here, and you can see into the grove a little bit from the east direction up to the house. I'm going to walk around this way, and we're going to talk a little bit about the east tree and this spiral. So this was one of the first developments that we put in. This spiral was here when we moved in. It was a good omen in my mind. And we have only developed it and cleaned it up and made it better over the last 7 years. The pine has been here. It's been one of the trees that has given our house character, home to many birds. We'll have several chickadee nests in that bird house over the summer. We love that. We love watching them come and go. And so this pine and this spiral have been really important. Unfortunately, we have been told that the pine is in fact dying and that we have only a couple years left with it. This is heartbreaking. I'm still somewhat in denial, but we'll continue to move past it and decide kind of what will come in its place after we say our goodbyes. So this is the east position and the spiral here. So we're going to walk around now to the west entrance, talk a little bit about some of the future plans of the yard. The first one I'd like to mention is that this wonderful trampoline is going to be moving across the yard. I think it'll be a better addition across the yard for the kids to practice, but also then will allow me some more space. I'm considering putting in another spiral or maybe a labyrinth, and then we are going to be planting a birch here in the west position. So I'm super excited about that. It even already looks like it has formed the perfect circle back here in the corner of the yard, and so that's one of the new developments that I will keep you posted on. Another project that we'll be working on is taking out the gym and play set here, the little tykes, because our kids have outgrown it, and we're going to kind of develop a canopy or a teepee back here by our silver maple. I think this is the perfect location to put something like this. It'll give them a project to work on and stuff to plant around it. We're thinking maybe morning glories, something that will vine over the canopy. And so that will be a new development back here, and we will be getting rid of something that we actually moved in and inherited, and our kids now have outgrown. So this will give us a lot more open space to the backyard, and I'm looking forward to that project, which we will keep everybody updated on, and I hope works out well. Alright, so walking back over here to the west entrance, you can kind of see around the grove. I have two rocks here greeting us as an entranceway. I also have these stepping placements. So this is pieces and slabs of wood that we found from dead trees throughout the neighborhood, throughout all of last summer, and wanted to have as a placement around the grove. So my husband mostly, and with a little help of myself, we cut them into slabs, sanded them down, and then stained them with natural stain. And I put them in here just to kind of give me a path. I didn't necessarily expect it to last, and yet here they have. Some of them are broken, but most of them have really held up, and so I'm really pleased with that addition, and I like that I have an entranceway in. So I'm standing in the place that I stood during my initiation into the Bardic grade of Obad on the summer solstice of 2018. I stood in this very place, although it was just empty space in the yard, and I kind of had foreseen that someday it would be a grove. And in that meditation, that was the vision that came through to me, was the placement of the rocks, how it would look, and that this place would be a place where many would gather. So that kind of became, over the next year and a half, my goal to make. And so last summer, we put a lot of effort into making this grove. You can see on Detroit Druid on Facebook that I have posted our entire process through pictures. I did not do video then. Of the process of bringing in dirt, having stones delivered, the placement, how it worked, step by step, the family that was involved, and that whole journey that we had. And I do encourage anyone who's interested in making a grove to kind of check it out and see what they think. Leave me comments always. And so anyway, this is the grove that I pictured, and so I was very particular about the placement of each of the stones, that they were measured correctly. And from videos in the future, you'll notice I'm a little OCD, but in this regard, I had seen it ahead of time and wanted to make sure that it was indeed my vision of my outer grove. So walking into the west, you can see here that I picked one stone that I can sit on and meditate, put my feet in the earth, and the other one is one of the larger boulders, and maybe the largest that we have here, and I wanted that as kind of my greeting. We do also have torches all around the grove, especially in the compass points. A lot of our rituals are done at night, and I find that this helps us to see, but is really not a complete solution yet. So that is another improvement we'll be making this summer. So as we walk in, another little bowl that I made to match the one from the drain. And it has stones in it that again were collected and that have meaning. I'm surprised it held up over the winter. Again, I'm very pleased that it did. We used this to consecrate the grove with water, and so here it is in the west on its plate where it stays. And again, I'm very pleased that it held up. So let's travel around here to the north. This is the north boulder, and it has another stepping stone and plate for anything in the north that we might want to have to represent. And I also would like to show my new little oak tree as of last summer. Believe it or not, he's doing really well. I was worried about him leaning, but he actually looks really straight, and I can't wait to see how much he grows this summer. So this will be something that we are going to be watching in the videos, is the growth of the new trees. Alright, so let's walk around to the east place, and this is the east boulder, another one of the largest boulders we have here in the east. And our east pine again. I do love this place. This is one of the more peaceful areas of the grove for me personally, and maybe it's because of the time and energy that I've put there. I do not usually connect with the element air, but for some reason in my grove this is an important seat for me. And now we're looking over to the west, and I'm envisioning my new birch over there come spring. I can't wait for that. So let's head on down to the south. Here's one of my favorite boulders as well. It has a heart shape. It matches kind of the placement of the wood here, which I didn't plan, but I'm happy about. And then this is where our cauldron sits so that we can consecrate in fire. There is also pieces of the plate that did break, one of the plates that we made last year that broke over the winter. And I've kind of placed it there in the ground, hoping that the ground takes it back. Some of those rocks were rocks that were found in this area, so we'll see what happens there. You may have noticed we have a privacy fence here. Not my favorite element, but necessary because of young kids. This will eventually someday come down, and I will put a split railing fence on the other side, or no fence. And then you will see that we have 5 beautiful maples on the other side here that will become a part of the grove once again. Now, I know in my heart that they're all connected underground, but I would love to be able to have them visually a part of each ceremony. And I look forward to the day that we're all together again in this circle. So let's go back to the west, to our starting point, and take a look at the grove one last time. So this is where we're at on this warm March day. It's going to be almost 60 today. So I'm out here looking at the grove and at the backyard as it starts to wake up, as a before video of what we have, and looking forward to the new plans of this year in 2020. Thank you all for joining me on this journey and of this tour of the grove. I look forward to many more videos. Please like and subscribe. Leave me comments and about your journey and your grove. I'd love to hear about them. And I look forward to the next video on the progress and the updates. Thank you again for tuning in. Have a wonderful weekend.